So right now it's the middle of winter and there's not a whole lot of foraging that we're doing. So I thought today I would clean out and organize and repack a few things that are in our apothecary. I thought that I would show you what we have in there at the same time. The top shelf is all mushrooms that we harvested and dehydrated this fall. We've got some Fib Kings. These are like porcini, but just like their slightly less favorite sibling, but they're still super good. Oh, they smell so good. And we've got some shaggy parasols, which are super common around here. They've got like a super deep earthy flavor. So both of these mushrooms, we just keep some dried so that we can put them in soups or sauces throughout the winter. And their flavor gets even more concentrated when you dehydrate them. So that's pretty awesome. This is turkey tail, which is super medicinal fungus that you can actually eat raw, but most people put it in a tincture or in a tea to get all of its benefits. We've got like the most common mushroom that grows around here, which people often called red cracking bolete. It's Xerocamelus diffractus. And these guys are like pretty good. They're not the most amazing, but there's lots of them, so can't pass up that. And then this fall I was experimenting with drying and powdering mushrooms. So we've got some of the Fib Kings and the shaggy parasols, and also deer mushrooms, Pluteus cervinus, in powder form, like sprinkling on eggs or meat. So that's the mushrooms. And then down here we go more into our herbs. Here we've got a bunch of peppermint from our garden that I harvested in the fall. I'm a bit of a tea freak, so we got our peppermint for tea. We've got a huge container of rose hips that are just waiting to be processed a little bit more, but they're totally dry, so they could go in tea now. And then we've got licorice fern root. This is like an incredible natural sweetener for tea. We've got, this was actually a gift. This was not harvested by us, but these are jasmine blossoms, and can't pass up a jasmine blossom in your tea. This was also a gift. This is wild harvested. These are spruce bud tips that were harvested in Minnesota and given to us by some friends when they visited. And they're infused in something. I don't actually know what, but they're good. Here we've got a bunch of stinging nettle that's been dried. Nettle is incredible. I've had herbalist friends tell me that there's nothing better you can do for your health than to drink a cup of nettle tea every day. So always have nettles on hand. We've got juniper berries here. These are from Central Oregon. We harvested when we were there, and I've been meaning to turn these into a sourdough starter because the pale white dusty coating on the outside of juniper berries is actually wild yeast. So you can make sourdough starter from them. So let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a video on that. We've got rose hips, which we did a video on how to harvest and store these properly. Tons of vitamins and minerals in them, a must-have for any herbal cabinet. Then we've got some Douglas fir and cedar needles. These have tons of vitamins. They add a really nice like citrusy flavor to tea. So that's what those are there for. This is a full bag of lavender buds from the garden. So foraged but not wild harvested. And lavender is super calming, super tasty in teas. And then the last thing in our cabinet is a box of herbs that were gifted to us for Christmas, and I need to put these into a better storage situation because right now they're just in tiny little bags. So I think we'll do that next. Oh, also we have my on-the-go tea kit. This has basically just little containers of all of the herbs that are in here, plus a few more. We've got some elderberry flowers. These smell kind of weird when they're fresh, but they're super tasty when they're dry. Cardamom pods, just because I love cardamom. Cleavers, or sticky weed, bed straw, different names for them. These are supposed to be really good for allergies. Dried willow bark, because willow is a natural painkiller. So this I pop in my tea if I'm feeling a little headache. Yarrow in here, because yarrow is also super good for pain. We've got dried chamomile flowers, really good for digestion and relaxing and soothing. And more nettles and rose hips. This is the on-the-go tea kit. Let's organize. So I got all these jars at Goodwill, and I want to do some reorganizing of these herbs that I know I'll harvest more of in the summer and putting them in here so that they will have more space. Some of these, like hibiscus, not gonna harvest that around here, so it'll stay in its little bag. But a lot of these, like peppermint and chamomile and lemon balm, nettles, sage, rose petals, lavender, these are all things that I will harvest more of once they're growing again. So I want them to be in containers where all of them will fit. Alrighty, so that is our wild foraged apothecary as it stands. If you're interested in starting your own and you'd like to forage the things that you put in your herb cabinet, we have a video about harvesting and processing rose hips that you can check out, and we also have one about harvesting and processing licorice fern if you live in the Pacific Northwest. Other than that, stay tuned for videos this summer on processing more wild plants for